Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is February the 11th, 2023, and we're week 53 of That Dad Guy Answers. We do have a couple questions this week, which is fantastic. I'm also going to remind you about the new format that we've started that's asking a question a month to you guys and having you participate. So at the end, I'm going to review that again. I'll give you the question again for February so you don't miss it, just in case you didn't see last week's episode. So let's get to the questions today. The first one comes from Amber, and it says, Amber's in the United States. She says, did you play any sports in school or college? I did play sports growing up. The only ones I played were in elementary school as far as school activity sports. I was on the basketball team and I was on the volleyball team. Those were the two I played in elementary school. Elementary school at that time was grade 7, 8, and 9 here in Canada. Now grade 9 is part of high school, so elementary school is now 6, 7, 8. So it has changed a little bit, and wherever you are, you may call it something different as well, whether it's senior, junior years, all those sort of things. I did play city sports as well, so I was on a city baseball team. We actually got to win the championship in the city that year that I was on. I guess I played 2 years, so we won the championship one of those 2 years. My role was an outfielder, and not a lot of people could hit in the outfield, so I didn't have a whole lot to do. And I played all 3 different positions in the outfield. I was pretty quick when I was younger, so I did steal quite a few bases. So that was kind of my thing. If I got on base, then I could steal second. I don't know if I ever stole third or not. I probably did because it wasn't uncommon at that point in time to do that. So yeah, that was kind of my baseball years. I played city basketball, and I wasn't a very big kid. I think I may have been 5 feet tall going into grade 9. I didn't grow really and have my big sprout up until grade 10 or grade 11. And even then, I'm only 5'8" now, so I didn't sprout up a whole lot, but that's where I went. So volleyball, it was natural. It was on the fun school team. We didn't do very well in our school. We didn't have a whole lot of high-end athletes that were on the teams, so it was just for fun. So yeah, so volleyball, baseball, basketball, those were the sports that I really participated in. Never really got into playing competitive hockey or anything like that. You know, we certainly played it on the ponds and things that were around. Even put up a little bit of a rink in my driveway, which was on a hill, which is not a great place to play hockey. So do those sort of things. But yeah, that's about it for sports as a youngster. And I certainly love watching it. I really got into hockey when I went to university. When I was at McGill in Montreal, that's where I found my real passion for the Montreal Canadiens and hockey, and I've enjoyed it since. When my wife and I lived out in Vancouver, we went to a lot of Vancouver Canucks games and the Vancouver Grizzlies basketball games. So got into basketball then, and with my son who plays a lot of basketball now, that's kind of what we follow, and we've been watching a lot of that. So yeah, everything goes in ebbs and flows. So thanks, Amber. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, the next and last question I actually have this week, so it may be a very quick video, come from Miss Plume, who I believe is in Quebec. And she says, what are your children's names and what made you decide on these choices, like anecdotes or stories behind them? So children's names. All right, I have 2 children, as you probably know from watching the videos. My daughter's name is Dea, D-A-I-A, and my son's name is Ari, A-R-Y-E. Both Hebrew names, not that I'm Jewish, but if we want to go back in time to when we were deciding about my daughter's name, we didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl, or if she was going to be a boy or a girl at the time, and we didn't really want to tell people what we were thinking about, but we called her Baby Saku for the longest time. Saku because Saku Koivu played for the Montreal Canadiens, and it kind of annoyed people that we were calling her Baby Saku. Saku is a Finnish name, because Saku Koivu is a Finnish hockey player and was one of my favorites at the time playing for Montreal. He went out, he had cancer, he battled cancer, he came back, it was a very successful comeback story, so it just seemed to be appropriate at the time. When we were deciding if it was going to be a boy's name, we actually had picked Merrick. Now we had a player for the Vancouver Canucks. Now I don't know why all our names kind of were hockey players, but Merrick was an unusual name. Merrick Malik played for the Vancouver Canucks at the time. He was a big defenseman, and we liked the name Merrick. It was unusual, and so had my daughter been born a boy, she would have been Merrick Lennox. That was kind of where we were going with. And then when she became a girl, or was revealed to be a girl, we had a book of 1,000 baby names, and we kind of went through it, and we were looking and looking and looking, and we came across Daya. It was D-A-Y-A in the book, Hebrew name meaning bird of prey, as I recall. And so we liked the name. We just wanted to change the spelling a bit, so we went with D-A-I-A instead of Y-A, and that's what she became. She became Daya Lennox, and fits perfectly, and I can't imagine her being anything else. And she's been grown into a beautiful, smart, intelligent woman, and is making great decisions and having a fabulous time at university now. So we're very proud of her. Then a couple years later, we had another baby. This time we were blessed with a boy, and so now we have one of each, and there's 2 of us, so that was enough. 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl, and we went back to that 1,000 baby names, and we came across Ari. I don't know if it was because it was right near the beginning or what it was, but it stuck out. It was an unusual name. My wife's name is Shanda. I'm Robert, so I'm the odd one out. I'm not the one that has the beautiful names. I've got the most common name from babies born in the early 70s, but it also means something to me too, because my name Robert comes from my father. It was his middle name, so it was passed down to me, and I've passed the Robert down to Ari as well. That's his middle name. So we got Ari from that same baby book, and it means lion, I believe. I think back to that one, but that's what it means. It fit. It was something that people struggle with. They can't call him Ari a lot. It's not it. I don't think it's too hard. We have come across a couple other Aris. We ran into an Ari when we were on a Florida vacation. He was our cashier working at Walmart. It wasn't spelt the same way. The Hebrew spelling normally is A-R-I, and he is A-R-Y-E. So we did make changes again on that. And but it was nice to run into someone else who was an Ari or an Ari. I think he may have even called himself Ari in that. But so Ari it is. It's stuck. He's growing up to be a smart young man as well, and is making good decisions. And he's in his grade 11 year, which is a freshman year for the Americans. And I don't know what it is in other systems, but yeah, he's also making us very proud with what he's been doing in life too. So we've been blessed to have 2 great kids that have done well for themselves and are being productive members of society, which is what you want in the end, right? So those are the anecdotes that I think I have for our kids' names. I think we did okay. Yeah, we've been blessed to have good kids, and they've treated us well and respected us along the way, so we couldn't have asked for better kids. All right, those are my only 2 questions that I have this week. I've had a few people leaving messages saying that they liked the video from last week and liked the new format, and so let's talk about that new format. The question that I asked for February, so I'm going to pose a question in the first video of each month, or the first Saturday video of each month, asking a question of you guys, and you guys can respond by sending a postcard to me to the address that's in the description of all my videos. You can send your answer to that, and the postcard can be related to the answer if you like, or it doesn't have to be, whatever you want to do. And then the following first Saturday of the month, I will go through all the postcards that I've received, read all the answers, so we can get a chance to know everybody who is participating and following this channel, and then I will ask a new question, and then that will go on for the next month. So it gives everybody about 3 weeks or so to mail a card to me, and most places around the world you can get to me within 3 weeks. If by chance your card does not reach me in that time, I've asked that you put the number that your answer refers to of the question. So in this case, the very first question we have is, what thing in your area would you highly recommend to a tourist to see if they were there only to visit one thing, and why? So on your postcard, you're going to put a number 1 at the top, because that's the first question, and this is the answer that goes with that first question. So if I get that card after, so for Saturday in March is when I'm going to read all these postcards. If I should get it later on in March, then I know that this refers to that question. And so what I may do is read it later on and then refer to the question it goes to. So that's what I want to do to make sure everything is matched up. And then I'm going to create a binder and put all those postcards together in the binder, which will give me a chance to reflect on them later on. I hope you guys like it. I've been getting lots of positive responses about this format, and I really appreciate you guys participating in it and suggesting this to begin with. This wasn't my idea, so I'm very happy that someone gave me this idea to do, and I'm happy to do it. So thank you for that. Yeah, my back is getting stiff. So sitting here for a minute, I've put the heat on it. Yeah, I'm not going to talk a lot about that. So anyways, that's all I've got for this week. I hope you enjoy it. I've got some post-crossing to do tomorrow, and I've got some great videos that I've got to put out next week because people have sent stamps and some postcards, and so I'm going to show videos on those. Next Tuesday is also Valentine's Day, so day for people who may be enjoying that day coming up. Here in our household, we call that my wife's birthday. So we've got things to do for that too, I guess. Anyways, you guys have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?